So first things first, wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I think it's really important to do things for yourself, things that motivate you and that interest you. So very first thing off the bat is I do an hour of language learning every single morning. I try to fit the whole hour in. Currently, I'm learning Spanish, and I use this website called italki to match with Spanish tutors. And right now my Spanish tutor, Richard, is out of Colombia. Then of course I get my coffee and I start work by 8:30. Yes, I know tech jobs will allow you to start work at 11 a.m., but why would you want to do that? I like to finish my days as early as possible so I can reserve the evenings for myself. I don't want to be at work till 8 p.m. at night. The code I write at work is pretty heavy-handed, so I don't have some sleek MacBook that I use for my regular dev work. I actually have a desktop tower. The workload I'm running right now takes about 2 hours to run end to end, so it's pretty vital that I use that tower. I have a small 13-inch laptop too, but I mostly just check email and listen to music on that. I can't share too many details, but I'll give you guys the bare minimum. My team works on Windows. But we don't actually create new features for Windows. We work on the system that actually builds Windows images. We're actually responsible for creating those images for release and also for testing. This is the system that keeps the bugs out of what... Oh, son of a... Some things that you'll do on a day-to-day basis. The first one is Standup, which, yes, I actually stand up for. It's essentially a morning meeting to share your status and, most importantly, if you're blocked on any of your work. Next is code reviews. I'm going to show you the Lead Party repo that we have here at Tech Intern. This is where all the code reviews live on GitHub. Your teammates need to take some time out of their day to review each other's work and get as much feedback and as early as possible. I ran a workload overnight, so before I post a PR, I want to check the result. I thought something looked off, so I'm digging through the log files to see what I can find. A large part of being a developer is finding bugs in code. The best way to do that is to have a comprehensive logging system. At Review Council, I use Rollbar to inspect my logs and my errors. It also sends me an email whenever there's a new error so I can be alerted of it. One thing people don't really talk about too much in these videos is being on call. So every week we select one developer, and for that entire week, they are on call. Every few weeks, I am on call, and that's what the entire week looks like for me. Over lunch, I like to work out. That usually goes from about 12 to 1. This is the gym in my apartment building. It's really nice. It's got this really unique climbing wall. As you can see, I'm actually really good. Okay, well, maybe I'm not so good. When I get back into the day, this is when I'll do my real coding. So today on Review Council, I'll show you the problem I'm trying to solve. Obviously, I can't show you the code from Microsoft, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a new feature I implemented in Review Council, which is the startup I just launched, and it's real code running for real users. So what Review Council allows small companies to do is review their work. So this is some work on the left, and then you can see the checklists on the right. So the checklists might be, item 1 might be something like make sure someone's name is spelled correctly. Item 2 is make sure that this email is correct. Essentially, they're just things to look for when you're reviewing a document. Now, let's say I saw item 1 to 3 here, and then I said, oh, I actually don't see item 4 here. It doesn't work. So I rejected this document. Well, when the document is fixed and I do see item 4 here, problem is that when I come back into the review, it'll look like this. I'll have to look for item 1, 2, and 3 all over again. This isn't a great experience. It's fine when you have 4 items, but when you have a list of 40 items, it becomes really difficult. So today, we want to remember which items we've already checked off. So that's what we're going to be implementing. Okay, so in our reviews table, each review has its own ID. What I want to do here is create a new table that stores which items have been checked off, and then I want to link each of those items to the review that it comes from. So what I'm doing here is basically making a foreign key, which means that this row links to a row in a different table. If that row is ever deleted, then just delete me too. Now I want to create a new function, and this function is going to be get checked off items for review. Essentially, it's going to select all rows for that ID. So we're going to get all items that were checked off for that review. I like using Connect.js instead of raw SQL. This gives me the freedom to choose between what database I want to use under the hood.
and I don't have to change any of the syntax, while also giving me the ability to write queries just like regular code. So that's what all of this .where stuff kind of looks like. Okay, now I want to add to the get review metadata function. This function basically just returns the review. What I want to do here is return the checked off items also. Okay, now I want to add to the update status function, basically just take in a list of checked off items. And what I want to do is include that in the update status table, and I'm going to put a to do here, have this function actually insert those checked off items into the table. That can be left as an exercise to you guys. Okay, now we're going to go to the front end, and essentially what we're going to do is grab the checked off items out of the review. So remember, we included the checked off items in the review. Now I just want to see, hey, if it's not equal to null, then I just want to save those, and then we're going to iterate through them later. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, now when I scroll down, you see this piece of code is responsible for printing all of the items in the checklist right here. You can see all these items. This code does that. So what I want to do is just copy and paste it, and I'm going to make this already seen list, and I'm going to loop through them and show which ones have already been seen. So essentially we're copying and pasting this code twice, but instead of going through the regular buttons, we're going to go through these already checked off items. And I'm just going to disable this button to show, hey, we've already checked this off. You don't have to do anything to it. Then lastly, there's one other thing we would have to do here, and that is remove the checked off items from the regular button list, right? Because they've already been checked off. You don't need to check them off again. So this is looking good. Let's go back up to the top and implement this filter here. Basically, we're just going to say, hey, if this item has already been checked off, then don't include it in the button list. And I'm just implementing that. Last but not least, we want to grab the checked off items and put them in this function that actually makes the HTTP request to the backend. And we already included that parameter in the backend. So there's a little bit of work you'd have to do here that I haven't showed, but it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Now you can see I check off items 1 to 3. I reject this review, and then I'm gonna refresh. I'm gonna go to the rejected column. What you'll see is items 1 to 3 have already been checked off. You can't change them, and now you only have to change item 4. I finish work at 4:30 depending on what needs to be done for the day, and then I go for a walk. It's important to get out of the house and get some fresh air, I think. It's way too easy to lock yourself up during COVID and think that that's what's making you safe, but I think you really need to get the sun, get some fresh air, and get a nice walk in every day. I already showed you my gym, but I think I'm going to show you some of my other amenities. This is the game room. There's a pool table in here, pinball machine, and whatever the hell this thing is called. Oh, it's skee ball. By the way, I'm horrible at it. On the top floor, there's a big kitchen if you want to have guests over, board games, really nice outside area. We've got pizza ovens, barbecues, there's some nice seating up there, and of course, a really great view of the Space Needle. Then I come back to my apartment. This is usually where I do some personal work. This usually starts out as checking any questions in the Tech and Turn Discord, which you should definitely join, link in the description. It might be me shooting some videos or working on Review Council a bit more, or even just sending some emails and making some cold calls. Usually I work till about 6:45, and that's when I cook dinner. And then I usually take a bit of a break. I take the next 2 hours off until about 9:30. Then I might read a little bit after that. I might read for an hour before bed, or maybe I'll just go to bed early. Usually I'm in bed by 11 o'clock and ready for the next day. You can't underestimate how important that 8 hours of sleep really is. Now I'll be working from Hawaii next month for the entire month, and I'm going to do another one of these videos and show you the difference between what it's like living in Seattle versus working and living in Hawaii. So definitely like and subscribe if you're interested in that. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining.